All right, we're going to talk about some weird stuff we normally don't talk about on this channel because there's a lot of things going on. So one, let's talk logistics, right? If you received the skull soap, the purple one, in a really fancy box, let me explain how that works. Hang on, I'm driving without my glasses. That was a bad idea. I could actually see okay, but this helps a lot. So, this is how we operate, right? For those of you that don't know, Aaron here, Simon Says Farms. We own the goat farm. My wife and I run Simon Says Farms. We have a whole bunch of goats, 40 of them to be exact. Was 38 until 2 more came back. That's Paris and London. Welcome back. I have a pretty strong feeling they're staying. But anything with a heartbeat, the decisions are way above my pay grade. So, these goats, they get bred, they have babies. We help other farmers get goats. We help other families get into the goat farming world, maybe make some cheese or just have some pets outside that are great little pets, things like that. And then that milk gets converted into all the lotion, soaps, lip balms, all the things like that. FYI, there's no goat milk. So there's no goat milk in a lip balm. That's just made by somebody that owns goats. That's just to clarify. Logistics, that's where we're going now. It's almost COVID again. No, not COVID as in we're all getting sick. COVID as in nothing's coming into our country on big boats. So I felt like my window was cracked, that line, but it's not. So in Northeast, there's a port strike right now. And I'm not getting into politics, but some of this conversation might kind of go there because Tyler got me all heated a little bit or got all worked up about something that upset him, which he has a right to be upset. It's kind of bullshit, but and I don't know the details, so it was something to do with the hurricane, and he just said, "Dad, his words, can you believe it? These people, their whole houses got wiped away, everything destroyed, blah, blah, blah. And the government's gonna send them all $250. And they lost everything, their cars, their jobs, their house, their clothes, everything. And they're gonna get a check for $250. I go, well, Tyler, you gotta be careful. Where are you getting your information from? Because coming from TikTok, you gotta do some more research because the government will help. There will be aid, there will be FEMA will jump in. There's a lot that gets involved. And then he went there and he was like, well, why do we spend trillions of dollars to other countries for the war when we can spend all that trillions of dollars here and help our own people? And I'm like, oh geez, here we go. And it turned into a good conversation. He's learning, and he's actually in a class in school that's like all about this, a government class. So he should learn a lot of things, but it got pretty interesting. I opened his eyes to some of it as to how it kind of all works. But I'll be honest, right here, I'll say it, whatever. I'm a registered independent. I don't give a shit what party you work for. Red, blue, I think we should be purple. I'm a firm believer of we should have 5 different parties. And there's a reason for that. Because when you have 5 different parties, or you have 5 different sports teams, or 5 different soaps to pick, you normally won't get just one winner. Like it doesn't become I hate you, so I'm going to vote for you. Only because I hate that person. You're actually going to find something in that crowd that works for you, probably. It's never mind. It's a sales thing. Don't just sell 2 items. So that brings me back to soap. Yeah, we don't talk politics or religion on this, but occasionally it all fits in there, right? The fancy soap, right? The premium stuff that Liz makes by hand. The Skull, the Grinches of the world, the One in a Winnie cupcakes. I could keep going on some of that stuff. We usually, I'm going to use the word usually because I like gray. Remember, I like purple. We usually do not show you the packaging on the website. We don't show you how it's going to be packaged and shipped to you. You just got to take our word for it. That's going to come kind of cute, boxed up, with probably some fancy sticker that Liz designed. And we do that on purpose because of what happened with the skull. We were able to locate some fancy boxes that have like cutouts. Those are actually laser cut boxes. They're hard to find. And it was like somebody posted it on the group page because they put a tea light in it, and it was kind of a cool little thing. And now other people are like, why didn't I get that box? So this is how it works. We scour the World Wide Web, the internet. We actually go all over the world because those boxes were not made in the US. We go all over the world to find these neat little boxes or different ways to wrap our soap. So it's more of a pleasant surprise when you open a box and you're like, oh, that's how they decided to package the reindeer or whatever. Knowing that it'll always be gift worthy. We will never just throw it in a box where you have to, well, lip balm does just get thrown in the box, where you have to then repackage it to give it to a friend. It's always set up in a way where you could just give it to somebody. Where was I going? So when she makes, say, the skull, and let me just pick a number, like 140 of them, well, the people that make the fancy box sell them in packages of 100. We're not going to buy 200. We're going to buy 100 of them. And the first 100 skulls we pack up are going to get the fancy box. And the extra 47 are going to get a generic, still cute, box of some kind. The way they get shipped out is the first 100 sold get the fancy box, and as the orders come in, it's all by timing. It's all first come, first serve. So if you ever get a super fancy box for an item and you find out somebody else got a not so super fan, that's why. That's how we do it. It's just a pleasant surprise. It's kind of neat. But now with this port strike going on in New England, half of our vendors, suppliers of ingredients, bottles and pumps, we all remember COVID, we ended up in a what was it, a bucket? No, a tub. We ended up in a blue tub, which, by the way, because I don't throw anything away, we still own. We have thousands of those tubs, just saving them just in case, you never know. And now we're running into all that, but we're fine for Christmas. We pre-ordered all our stuff early. We had to, because lotion's being made next week, and we're moving on to the holiday, Christmas, all that stuff. So we're good there. The question is, how long is this port strike going to last, and what's going to affect? So Jake works at Costco's, and it's already affected Costco's. I don't want to start some government or conspiracy here, but I think we're going to have the COVID paper towel problem again. Because Jake said when he got to work yesterday, there were no paper towels at Costco's. They were down to Bounty only, the like fancy Bounty pack, but none of the store brand Kirkland, is it called? Paper towels were there, and then the truck came in halfway through the day. And for some reason, people just automatically assumed, wait a second, I've never seen Costco's out of paper towels. Oh my gosh, the port strike. Uh-oh, let me get 2 packs, and it's already starting. So he's like, yeah, it like this one day, he said something, and I don't want to get too political or too Costco's inside data, but he said, Dad, this one day shortage could mess us up for a whole week. And I'm like, uh-oh. Well, this port strike's going to go on longer than one day. So that's where I'm at with some of that stuff. We talked about the logistics of the fancy boxes. We do scour the internet. It's kind of fun. It's like a scavenger hunt, trying to find, and sometimes we can't find anything super cute or easy. And you got to remember, there's a cost here too. The fancier, come on, squirrel, move. Whoa. The fancier I didn't want today to be your last day. The fancier we make that. Do you guys have squirrel problems? Like, the squirrels are ridiculous in New England, especially if you moved from, like, let's say Colorado to Connecticut. Were squirrels a problem in Colorado? That's just, I just know people that made that move, so I'm just wondering. I remember, so this is funny. When I was probably about 14 or 15, we had a foreign exchange student, Juan, live with us from Brazil. My mom, so it was me, my mom, and my brother living in a house in the inner city of Waterbury, Connecticut. And we had a foreign exchange student from Brazil come live with us. I want to say him and Jason were juniors in high school at the time. And he lived with us for like a year, almost a year. And I remember the first time we were standing in the middle of the road, just hanging out. That's what kids did back then. Go outside and play, come inside when the street light comes on. And he saw a squirrel and like kind of got nervous, like jumped. I'm like, oh, you don't have to worry about them. They're not going to touch you. They're not going to bite you. Squirrels don't bite. They're not raccoons, you know. They're just outdoor hamsters. I don't know. And he's like, oh, it just was baffled by the squirrel. Yeah, it was crazy. Because they didn't have those in Brazil. He did say like rats, but yeah, we don't like rats either. You know, rats are gross. They carry rabies and everything. But squirrels are just like these cute fuzzy things that collect the acorns and jump in front of your car. Oh my God, look at how smoky this truck is. Ready? Going into it. No, you can't see it. You couldn't see it. Some diesel truck just went by him, blowing black smoke everywhere. That was, oh, I could smell it too. It's coming in the car. So yeah, that squirrel, I didn't want to squish him. But I think that was it. I think that was all my things, the logistics. I gotta get out. Maybe I'll try it in this video. I'm not gonna edit anything in, but you might have a link in the description. Check out the description. I know a lot of you don't read it because it's pretty much the same description on every video. I don't even add what the video's about. It's so bad. When I get down to less than a video every single day, and I go down to maybe quality over quantity, and I go down to 3-4 videos a week and throw in more shorts, maybe I'll do better thumbnails, better editing, better descriptions, and the channel will grow or whatever. We'll see. But down in the description, I got to start polling you guys. I got to start figuring out, what do you want to talk about? What topics are on your mind? And I created a form, and there's a link. I'm going to try to put it in this video description, and you can click that link and fill out that form, and then it dumps into a database where then I can say 10 of you give me 3 ideas. My database will now have all 30 ideas, and I can then run with those ideas and see like, oh, that could be a fun video to make, and then give you guys some credit and be like, this video is sponsored by, I'm just kidding. This video is brought to you because one of our viewers named John wanted to learn it. Something like that. By the way, my brother still keeps in touch with the foreign exchange student, 30 years later? Yeah. My mom went to Brazil too for like 6 months. I lived with my buddy Tony and his mom Sharon and his dad Big Tony. Yeah. I miss those guys. I haven't hung out with them in forever. Yeah, that was my second mom. Yep, we hung out over there, lived with them. Yep, so I can still go to the same high school, right? I mean, it was good times. One of these days, this is on my video planning. This is such an interesting video for you guys today. One of these days, I do plan to take a tour around the state of Connecticut. A Connecticut tour. Put it on the list if you think it's interesting. A Connecticut tour of all the places I used to live. So we can go down to Waterbury, where I grew up, go past my elementary school. We can then go up to Bristol, where I used to live with my dad. And then we can run out to Canton, where Liz lived when I met her. And then we can swing by to the East Hartford world, where Liz and I bought our first condo. And then we can go to Colchester and say this is where our house was. And it'd be a great video for when our kids have kids. They can be like, check out this video that Grandpa and Grandma made. That would be Liz, right? Grandpa and Grandma made about where they used to live. And like, check this out. It's like story time and a tour, you know, so they can learn about us. Their grandkids or their grandkids are like great-grand. I mean, this content's going to be around forever, which is really weird. That's kind of interesting. I actually heard, and I'll let you go after this. This whole AI thing and some people don't like it, but this AI thing is going to be bananas. It's going to be amazing. So because I have pumped out thousands of videos with my face and my voice, there will be a time where, say, Jake's kids or Olivia's kids, let's fast forward, let's play the cards here. So Olivia's 10. Let's pretend she has her first baby at 25. So that's 15 years from now, right? And then that child is now, so that's a grandbaby, and we're grandpa. But then fast forward, so now that's 15 years. I'm only 40, 50, 60. I'm now 60. So let's pretend with modern medicine I make it to 90. So that's 30 years. So that child becomes 30, right? So Olivia's now 45 years older than she is today. So Olivia's 55. Her child's 30. And now that child remembers us, but we're gone. And then they have babies. So now that's a great, so that child, they can be like, that child would have a mom, that mom would then, Olivia would be the grandma. We would have been the great grandparents, but we're not here. They can literally take all 1,000 of my videos, and this is already here, by the way, but it'll get even more possible in the next, say, 10 years. They can take all my videos, because I have so much content, 1,000 pieces of content, whether it's handwritten and you just dump it in like a bunch of Word documents, or a bunch of still pictures, and then the audio, like what you're hearing now, all the videos, and you dump them into this program, like you upload them, the same way you upload a video to Facebook. They'd say, upload your content here, and we will generate your avatar. So they'll generate this avatar, meaning me, in my 90s, and I'll just stay 90 or whatever. And then that kid, Olivia's grandchild, get it? Like we're so far down the line here, can literally say, I want to talk to great grandpa Aaron, and pull him up on her phone, literally ask me anything she wants, and the AI will know, based on the fact that they have thousands of videos of me talking, it'll pretty much know what I would have said and how I would have said it, and they can literally have grandpa with them forever. It's amazing. It's like you could sit there and talk to your long lost, grandpa, mom, aunt, sister, brother, whatever, if they put enough content into the world that you can turn into, like, what would Aaron have said if I asked him this? And it should be able to generate. It's crazy. I don't know if I just blew your mind with that. Think about Teddy Ruxpin. I'm dating. If you know what I'm talking about, put it in the comments below. It used to be a stuffed bear that kids were able to talk to, and the bear would answer back. It was a little stuffed animal when I was a child. And it was like mind-blowing. Like, oh my God, this stuffed animal is talking to our children. And it literally had like 5 answers. And they were on repeat. And it was weird. I don't remember it completely, but I remember it because it was like, whoa. I think they literally had to like open the back of the stuffed animal and put like a tape inside or something. And I can't remember if you just talked to it and it'd say something, or if you had to push a button. My point is, that stuff's like 10, 20 years away. You could I just heard somebody say yesterday or the day before, and then I'm going to go because I'm just rambling and I got to get to the gym, that there's a medicine out there now that you can give your dog to extend its life by about 20%. The good years. A dog age extension something. Like, I don't know if I would have wanted to give that to Luke. He was crazy. I'm just kidding. Luke was the best dog ever. But, yeah. Life extension on your dog. And, yeah. That's my story for today. We got to breed Mila and Caesar are going to the vet this morning. It's Friday morning. It's super cloudy. I mean, you can see it out there. It's not nice. It's not a nice day. It's super wet and like the dew, but the colors on the trees. Colors on the trees are coming in. They're coming in real nice. So, my closing statement today is check out that link below. Drop me an idea or two, anything you want. Be like, hey, you should talk about, I'd love to hear you talk more about your ideas about raising your own food, or your ideas about raising children, or your idea. It doesn't have to be, put whatever you want. If you tell me you want me to talk about God or religion, that's not going to happen. Politics, not going to happen. But you can put it in there. I just want to see what people say. Put whatever you want. I think the forum was built so with one submission, you could actually submit 5 ideas. And then you could come back a week later and be like, oh, I got more. And you could click and just drop in 2 more. I mean, the link will be open. If it works, this is a test. Drop some stuff in there. That'll give me some ideas of what to talk about as we move on. But my closing statement is make some content. Save it on your phone. You don't have to put it in public, because eventually your children or your children's children or your children's children's children will really love that content. For example, I hold on. Oh my God, I don't want to go there. I hold on to the last voicemail my dad ever leaves. So for example, if he calls me today and leaves the voicemail, and it's always the same. It's like, hey, what are you up to? Call me back. That's literally his voicemail. I'll delete the oldest one and save that one. So it's every time. Like currently right now, I think the one I have is like a month old because he hasn't left a voicemail in a while. I'll save that voicemail forever, if you know what I mean. All right, now I'm tearing up. I got to go because I don't want to think about that, but it's life. It's going to happen. I actually heard a quote the other day, which was a great one, and it was a God quote, some Bible thing. I'm not sure where it came from, and I'll probably get it wrong, but it had something to do with you're going to have to die. You might as well live. See you again tomorrow. Bye.